Stop. Stop pretending this is about motivation. Stop pretending you need another video, another book, another system. You know what you need to do. You've known for months, maybe years, but every time you get close to becoming that person, you sabotage yourself. And then you call it discipline. You call it willpower. You call it laziness. But it's none of those things. It's fear. And today, we're going to pull that fear out into the light and look at it. Here's the lie: I'm just not disciplined. That's what you tell yourself every time you fail. And it feels true, doesn't it? Because you did quit. You did give up. You did choose the easy path. But here's what you're missing. You didn't quit because you're weak. You quit because continuing meant becoming someone you don't recognize yet. Think about it. The person who wakes up at 5 a.m. without thinking about it, that's not you. The person who turns down instant gratification like it's nothing, that's not you either. And somewhere deep in your subconscious, your brain knows that. So when you try to force yourself to become that person overnight, your entire nervous system screams, danger, unknown territory, abort, and you collapse, not because you're broken, but because your brain is trying to keep you safe. Safe from change, safe from discomfort, safe from becoming unrecognizable to yourself. But here's the problem: that safety, it's a cage, and you're dying inside it. Let me tell you what happens every single time. Day one, you feel it, that fire, that certainty. This time is different. Day 3, still strong. You're proving everyone wrong, you're proving yourself wrong. Day 7, cracks starting to show. You're tired, you're questioning, but you push through. Day 14, you miss once. One workout, one meal, one morning. And that's when the voice shows up. See, you always do this. You're not built for this. Why even try? And instead of recognizing that voice as fear disguised as truth, you believe it. You don't just stop the habit, you stop believing in yourself. And here's the part that kills you. Every time you do this, the cycle gets stronger. Every relapse adds another piece of evidence to the case your brain is building against you. I tried 10 times. I failed 10 times. I must be the problem. And the next time you try, you're not just fighting the habit, you're fighting the weight of every previous failure. You're fighting your own brain's conclusion that you are incapable. That's not discipline failing, that's trauma. Let me explain what's happening inside your brain. When you fail, your amygdala lights up. That's your fear center, your survival mechanism. And when your amygdala activates, it floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone. Now here's the problem: cortisol shuts down your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain responsible for rational decision-making, long-term planning, self-control, executive function. In other words, the moment you fail, the part of your brain that could help you recover goes offline. What stays online? Emotion, fear, shame. And shame doesn't say, okay, let's analyze what went wrong. Shame says, you are what went wrong. It takes a behavioral failure and turns it into an identity failure. And once you believe that failure is who you are, not what you did, trying again becomes psychologically impossible. Because why would you keep trying if you're convinced you're fundamentally incapable? You're not undisciplined. You're traumatized by your own pattern of trying and failing. And nobody ever taught you how to break that pattern. Authoritative, but compassionate. So here's what actually needs to happen. You need to stop fighting the behavior and start rebuilding the identity. Because discipline isn't something you do. It's someone you become. And you can't become that person by forcing it. You become that person by 1. Stopping the shame spiral. Every time you fail, your first instinct is to punish yourself. Stop. Failure isn't evidence you're broken. It's evidence your system wasn't aligned with your nervous system yet. Ask, what was I protecting myself from? Not, why am I such a failure? 2. Externalizing the cause. It's not you, it's the method. Maybe your environment wasn't designed for success. Maybe your identity hadn't shifted yet. Maybe you were relying on motivation instead of systems. Stop making it personal. Make it tactical. 3. Rebuilding from identity first. Stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined. Start saying, I'm becoming someone for whom discipline is natural. Stop saying, I need to work out. Start saying, I'm someone who moves daily. You're not trying to force new behaviors. You're trying to become a new person. And that person doesn't think about discipline. They are discipline. So here's what I need you to understand. You're going to fail again. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. And when you do, you're going to have a choice. You can do what you've always done. Interpret that failure as proof you're broken. Add another brick to the wall of shame. Give up. Or you can do something different. You can look at that failure and say, this is data, not defeat, this is feedback. not identity. This is part of the process, not proof I'm incapable. The person you're trying to become doesn't exist yet. And the only way they come into existence is if you stop killing them every time you make a mistake. So stop asking, why do I keep failing? Start asking, what version of me survives this time? And then become that person, not by trying harder, by becoming someone who doesn't need to try. You're not undisciplined. You're just protecting the person you used to be.